Hey, robot people. Hey. Hey. This is Into the Breach. It's a mech game. Where you fight big old bugs. And that's kind of it. But with that premise, there's a lot to it. It is made by the same person or people who did FTL, so it's a single player, pretty difficult, roguelike-ish thing. Turn-based strategy, based a lot on positioning and forethought. But it's really easy just to start, because there's like 2 buttons, 3 buttons. And it's not like reaction time based or anything, because you see what the enemies are doing before they even do it. It's just kind of like almost chess-like. But you have mechs. And there's some cool kind of upgrade paths that this game has. You'll see my time traveler man. Nope. That's the wrong way. I never point the right way. Time traveler man over there. When you have to reset a run, get to keep one of your boys from the previous run. This guy's just the stock guy because I restarted. But over time you can kind of build up and pick from your best pilots to keep with you for your next run, to pilot one of your 3 mechs going forward. And there are a bunch of different styles of mechs. Looks like 8 different squads, and you can mix and match all of these 3 once you unlock them. You get the coins from like doing achievements and stuff. But right now I'm just doing the stock people because I feel like it would just be the most straightforward. Because this game does have a lot to kind of unpack just from the UI when you first get into it. And there's like little skin colors you can do and stuff. So you got your time travelers / pilots who kind of just give you passive stats for the most part. And then the mechs are like different health and abilities and such. So this first boy is kind of our main bruiser. He can do a punch that does 2 damage and pushes people. The cannon has a ranged attack that pushes 1 space and deals 1 damage, so not as big a boy, but has the advantage of range. And then the artillery mech, which has a very long range, only 2 health though, and it kind of does a bit of an AoE damage and push. So you got to use all your boys in concert to the best of your ability to manage the amount of enemies you have on the board at any given time, while trying to optimize your run in different ways beyond that. But we'll just go ahead and launch in here and I can explain the rest as we go. So there are 4 islands here. One of them is kind of blocked by my face. Let's get my face out of there. There you go. That you need to complete complete something. Oh, I want to say thoroughly, but that whatever. Complete totally. That in order to actually complete the run. And each area has like 4 or 5 encounters you need to do, and then there's a boss phase. And eventually you unlock all of these and can start on any of them. And the challenges get harder regardless of which one you go 1, 2, 3, 4, but they just start you with this one just to keep things simple. So we'll select that as our starting place. You get to talk to the CEO of this area. Basically just explains the situation, and he takes you to this little pick'em place. So, one of the main things you have to keep in mind in order not to lose the run is at the top, you'll see that orange bar that says power grid. And essentially, if the buildings you're kind of protecting take too much damage during your fights, that can go down. It goes down usually by 1 with every hit, and if it gets to 0, you lose. So you can see we can choose between these 2 areas. And gotta get my face out of the way again. If we were to beat this area in particular, we would get a star as a reward and then a lightning bolt. The star is experience, and the lightning bolt is extra power for the power grid. So I usually like to go with the ones that are more experience because there are other ways to get power, and it's typically not as big a deal. So I'll go with this one that gives 2 stars. And we have 2 objectives that if we do, we get bonus XP as well. We have to defend this satellite. I guess we have to defend both satellites, which are just like these little silos. So as long as those don't, I think, take damage at all, maybe they have health, we'll get some extra bonuses. And if we complete them all, I think we even get more bonuses beyond that. So right now is the deployment phase, where I just pick where I'm going to drop my boys. The 2 scorpion-looking friends are more melee-based, and the wingman is kind of ranged. And I know I want to protect these 2 things, so I'm basically going to get my melee man as close as I can to the action. My ranged man can probably be over here, and then my artillery can be more on the outskirts a little bit because he can move a lot and has long range, and it can be nice to have a positional flexibility with this guy because he can push. So now the enemies will move and will display what they intend to do next turn, and we will get more spawn points. So, my main objective right now is to get this guy off from attacking this missile. Looks like he'll only do 1 damage though, so if we had to give it up, we could. I can just move out of the way of this one because it's attempting to attack my artilleryman, but if I just scoot, that won't be an issue. And this one is trying to attack my power grid, which are my little buildings. So let's see. I think it's gotta just be a fairly straightforward thing here. I'll move up 1 with my cannon just to get some extra positioning out to where they're going to be spawning more. Use my 1 shot to push him away 1, and now he's going to be hitting nothing rather than the buildings. And it's going to be a similar story with this one. If I were to hit him and push him into my missile if I was to have moved to that highlighted space there and hit him up. Anytime that they get pushed into terrain or one of you, that still deals damage, so I didn't want to do that. And then this guy I can just leave, and I'll probably go here and just finish this guy off. Actually, no. This is a better play. If I hit here, this guy's attack from the center, where you actually aim the attack, pushes anybody away one. So while this won't do any damage on its own, it will put that Scorpion Man over this little earthquake, which is where the boys are going to spawn from next turn. And since he's blocking it, he's going to take a damage when it tries to spawn, and it won't be able to spawn. So he'll still die, and I will limit the amount of people who are going to be a problem next turn. So that's cool. Everybody has one movement and one attack for the most part. So that's the end of my turn. And they will take their actions that they were showing last turn, and then do some new ones at the start of this new one. And we'll see what we have to deal with for turn 2. Okay, so this satellite is going to launch, and anything within these red striped tiles is going to die immediately, so I need to get out of there at all costs. I also need to push this guy away. How much health does he have? Okay. Can I make him... How much movement does this thing have? Where's the inspect? Is it ZR? No, that's the... Nope. Select and X. That's repair. Is it plus? Nope. Minus. I swear there was a way to like look at these boys more in depth. I feel like if I get this guy away, I would be able to take his spot. I think that should be true, because 1, 2, 3. There's only 2. I do have one undo move per turn, so if this doesn't work out, I might use it for that. But move here, kill this man. My friend just leveled up, which is good. I can move there, so I will push him away and block another spawn. And then will I have range here? I will. And I'll be able to save my buildings and block another spawn, while getting everybody out of the launch area and getting a kill. Actually 2 kills, because he'll die from the spawn block. So I think we're looking pretty good here. We've managed to contain their numbers a good bit. Let's see. So if I move here, I'm going to take fire damage, but with only 2 turns left, this being one of them, I think I'm okay with that. Because I don't know if this guy's going to be able to really do anything else. And I need to push this guy away to save the thing, the satellite. I think I'll take him and push him out. And then I'll just move here to block a final spawn. That's fine. The reason I'm not attacking with this guy is he can only attack in a straight line, and being where I am, I can't actually hit anybody. This fire comes into play when you're on a forest tile. Well, when a forest tile gets an attack on it, and then you move on to a forest tile, which are just the extra green places are the forest tiles. So it can be theoretically nice to limit that if possible. Okay. So I'd like to get as much XP as possible, which you get XP for kills as well. So I think really the only one I'm going to be able to manage is this guy. I don't want to move there because I'll die though. So I think the play is just killing this man, moving this man here, pushing that guy one away so he'll hit the mountain, and oh, I actually can kill this guy because the what is this guy? Combat Mech does 2 damage with his punch and then an additional damage when he hits the mountain. So I'll do that, and then this guy's just going to whiff in a straight line because I moved out of the way. And that is 1 encounter down. It's away, oh my stars, that is magnificent. Perfect run. So, we got 1 promotion. Why that guy gets so much more XP than the others? And the others are 20 off and 23 off, probably just because he did most of the killing. So we got 2 XP, or 2 HP rather. And now we're moving on to that other zone. This one has an additional environmental factor where this water will come in every turn. If non-flying bugmen, which are the Vec, hit the water, they die instantly. But if we're in the water, we can't use any ranged abilities, I believe. You might not even be able to use any melee abilities. So I think my beefy boy's just going to post up, trying to zone out to protect the buildings. My ranged will kind of help him out, and then my artillery, I kind of like to put him on the corners so he can get different angles to do pushes if he needs to. Ah, yes, and there is always on the island 1 random time during all your encounters, a pod from the future, or past, I guess, a different timeline appears. And if you stand on it to pick it up, you get an extra item bonus, which is quite helpful. Indeed. So, I can probably push this guy off. So that would be an insta-kill, which I probably want to do there. It would be nice to pick up the pod immediately. So if I block the spawn, I would take an additional damage, and then this guy would hit me for 1 damage, so I'd only be down to 1 health, which isn't great this early. So I don't know if I want to do that. So I think this guy's gonna tank it. Because he's got 5 health as opposed to 3. This guy can't get the pod yet. That's unfortunate. This guy's gonna do his push. I've messed this up. Alright, I'll use my reset. That was stupid. Okay, focus. So, gotta do this first, so I don't push any of my men places I don't want them to be. Get the insta-kill. This guy can't get the pod, but that might be okay for now. Risk reward. Risk reward. I'm getting the pod. Screw it. And then all I can do is punch this man, so I'll punch that man. And as mentioned, I really don't want to take 2 damage here. So I'm probably just going to push him for the 1 damage, really more is what I'm doing, and that'll be the turn. So I've used my reset for all of this area, so if I mess up again, that is just bad. Okay, luckily that man couldn't really do anything. Wow, the combat mech is in brutal territory though. So this green boy gives any of the other characters +1 health. It doesn't do anything on its own, but that in itself is not great. So I think this one is pretty obvious. Get the insta-kill there. I could kill that one because it's going to be on fire, which it'll take 1, and then I'll punch it for 2. This doesn't have a lot of... that's actually pretty good. Just get some extra chip damage there. And put the buff man down to 1. Yeah. And just punch this guy. Did I already punch? No, I just didn't select him. Not the greatest turn, but I think we're doing okay. If I can kill the green man, I would 2-for-1 them, but I can't get an angle on him there, sadly. So it looks like I'm just gonna do a double punch there, a shoot here, and doesn't really matter because I can't do anything. I just do more damage to my man. There. Get him out of harm's way. Not that it really matters because that's the last turn, but make him feel better. So got out with all objectives again, and the pod. So we'll see what that got us here. Open the pod door. So we got a pilot and a reactor core. The pilot we can't use right now, can we? No. Oops. And the reactor core, this is kind of the menu that I was thinking of. Apparently it's only in between encounters. Is used to power up various things on the mechs to let you do more stuff with it. The little ovals underneath these things can be slotted in. Did I actually use it somewhere? Where'd my power go? Requires 1 power. Oh, you just need to actually slot it in for them. So, yeah, there we go. I could give her 2 extra health, which I may have done. No, okay. I'm losing it. They can kind of be swapped in and out. I'm not sure if I actually wanted to give it to the cannon mech, but I think maybe we're stuck into it, but I found the button, so... Can give them health, can give them extra move stuff, or I can upgrade any of their weapons for different effects. So I could make them mobile or make them do more damage if I had 2 or 3, which I don't. More damage, more damage. I can make my buildings immune to the artillery strike, which just gives me more flexibility for pushing with the artillery mech. And honestly, right now, I think that I knew the pilot was here somewhere. Is what I want to do. Because I'm not too scared of taking much damage right now. How do I get to the pilots? Is he better? He has armored as an ability. Which does what? Just... I think it negates the first hit they take. So... Don't want to put that on the cannon mech. Probably. Because the combat already has 5 health, the artillery is generally out of range of most things, so the cannon might be nice. And then just make sure this guy has more XP. He didn't, so I'll switch in her and get going to a different area. Let's see, the objectives here are defend the tanks or defend the train. So the train is a mobile thing. The tanks, I think, are static, and they may even assist me in battle after they come online. But with the train, I think that thing that I just got for the artillery mech with making my buildings immune will be helpful, so I'll go with that for now. And... I think I'm going to stack them up pretty close. So if they are in front of the train on its turn, they damage the train, which isn't good, beyond just attacking it. So I need to get them off the tracks for anybody within that movement radius with the green line there. As well as everything else with protecting the buildings and such. So, I think if I do this, I can get a kill and block, which is a good 2-for-1. Then this should push him onto the spawn point. I shouldn't have done it this way. I'm going to give myself damage because I just shot my own guy, but, you know, that's fine for now. I'm blocking both spawns and they're going to take damage, so I'm feeling okay. So, use the artillery mech to... I want to move here, I think. Push him to block the spawn, and he'll die from that. Then... this man will just do a punch. This man will block a spawn. Perfect. Actually, yeah, I'll do that for active XP on that one. Yeah, it's fine. There's only one guy who can do damage. He's just attacking me, theoretically. And I'll clean up the rest of them. And the train will escape! Da-na-na-na-da-da, mech time! Mech time, mech time, mech, 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 mech time. So, I think the objectives here that give you more stuff are harder. This one only gives you one, but it's got defense shields active. So, would be easier to do in theory, but we ain't no chumps, so our power grid is basically all good. I mean, it's up from even one from where we started, so I'm gonna just go with even more stuff to make my boy stronger. And now I will defend the tanks. So we should try and get our combat mech as close to where we think this guy's gonna go, the Scion, as possible, because they always have 2 health for now anyway. So it could one-shot the Scion, which is helpful to get off the field, to limit our enemy stuff. So hopefully we can get him down in 1 turn. Other than that, I think we're just gonna put our boys around. So attacking the power grid, doing nothing because it's a Scion, and attacking the tank. So we can whip him. I think that thing is 3 health, yeah. To protect the tank, which only has 1 health, we're gonna have to take a hit for it. But this guy's got armor, so, you know, it's kind of free. And I'll get some extra damage by pushing him into the mountain. Not gonna be able to block any spawns on this one, unfortunately. But can't always do it perfectly. Gotta protect the power grid with this guy. Which I think probably means allowing him to take a hit. Just blocking it, doing 1 damage. Don't love it, but it's okay. Luckily, they're mostly attacking me, it seems. So my main priority right now is protecting the power grid and protecting this tank. So these 2 guys. Next would probably be trying to limit this spawn. And then would be not taking damage from these guys. Unfortunately, this man is kind of protected by his friend a little bit. I think the only way I'm going to be able to deal with that is by using my artillery here. Then I gotta do this, which I think my punchman is the only real option there. I think I just block a spawn. I can't hit because it destroyed the tank. Okay. So I think next turn... Oh, this turn. There you go. The tanks come online and I get to use them to help out here. I think all that they do is just a 1 damage with no push, but I'll take whatever I can get right now. So gotta protect this. This is definitely gonna happen. To release the tank and block the spawn and get that guy off to take damage. So that's good. Gotta move this guy. It's probably honestly just gonna combo with the tank to do 2 damage. Whoops. Reset that. Pushed myself into myself. Alright, let's do it in this order. Can I still move? Alright. Let's get that going. Let's get this going. Not push myself into myself and kill myself. The tank. Finish this guy. And... is that it? Did I already do that? Oh, I just have 1 more tank. Tank can finish this guy. God, I saved my reset. So if you do die, and you don't have any extra pilots, I do have 1 in the wings, which is kind of rare. Your mechs get piloted by like a robot, which doesn't have any extra stats or anything, so puts you at a disadvantage. So here, I think we're gonna free our tank. I think we're gonna do a little hit, do a little. Why didn't that do any damage? Did he have 3 health? He might have had 3 health. Where's this guy going? Do a little hit. He'll be fine because he's got armor. Probably could have done this differently. Oh. I didn't. Oh my god, did I just lose a tank because I'm an idiot again? Don't take damage! I totally did. That was stupid. That was stupid. So I didn't get my double objective. Just because I rushed through this, but whatever. It's okay. So, seismic activity, gotta go back to the HQ. Looks like it's 4 encounters and now the boss. So, gotta destroy the Firefly leader, which is that big purple man, and protect the big old tower. Feel like really the only place for this guy to go is here. Probably same with this one, and then... Tough call. Maybe like this. Again, gotta try and get that Scion taken care of as early as I can. So this man is gonna do not 4 damage. This is from that, I think. Just, I guess he does do 4. So I really got to get this guy free to not get destroyed by the boss. Unfortunately, I've put my other guy basically in the worst place he could have been. I might take some power damage here, strategically. Because I'm kind of locked into a not great situation. Even then, that would be very good. So I'm stuck here because of the webbing, which is bad. Could do this. That wouldn't move anybody though. If I shot my own guy, he'd get out of it and he'd be able to move. Then he could take out the Scion. Put my cannon in a terrible place, it seems. He would just die to that thing, though. I'm gonna take some power damage. So I pushed the boss. Oh, the building resisted. So sometimes that can happen when the buildings take damage. They can just say, no, we won't take power grid damage. And that happened. But I pushed the boss into it, which would have caused the damage theoretically. But we didn't have that happen, just by luck. But the reason I did that in the first place was to push this guy into the water to limit the amount of things we were having to deal with there. And now... I don't know. I'm gonna go bold and move him out there. So I have to move this guy. Unfortunately, I can't really get any damage on the boss beyond just the 1 push damage I happen to get. And I also can't block any spawns because they're just too far away. Guess I could do that. The Scion's gonna die anyway because it's on fire. But there isn't like super double chain pushing, so this would just do the 1 damage to him. I think that's really all I've got. Not terrible. Can't really do anything, so yeah. The resisted damage to the power grid was nice. Okay. So it is worth noting that you can't push boss Vec into the water. That doesn't actually insta-kill him. So I'll likely just have to push him one with my artillery out this way so he misses everything. Because this guy's stuck, he can't push him. This guy could push him one into that building, which is theoretically better than hitting the tower. Yeah, I think it's power damage o'clock again. Push him into the water, kill him. This man's flying, so I can't do that, but I'll block the spawn and get him down to 1. Hopefully we won't take too much damage there, and then for the boss, I just have to go over here, I guess, to push him to make him whiff. Yeah. Oh well, it's a resource. It's not one you want to use often, but you can when you have to. So I think I'll probably end up pushing the boss out this way again. Yep, I think that's the play. This turn seems a bit clearer. To have him miss, push this guy, block the spawn, block this spawn, kill that guy. Now if I could manage to deal 4 somehow to the boss, that would be cool, but I seriously doubt that's gonna happen. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So now the play, I can't push him that way. Is there any way I can push him? Not really at all. And I can't get to him. AF. So I'm probably gonna take more power damage. Yeah. Best I could do would be push him out here and block it with him, but that would kill him. I don't think that's worth it. So I think we just do something. Can't even kill this guy, can we? Just try and save the tower. So if we push him that way, he just push him in there. If we push him this way, he'd kill us. Even if we could move, which we could, he would still just have one building he was going to attack. This guy can't reach him. This guy is basically in the same boat as the other guy. Can't kill him. Level up! And I'll deal 1 damage to the boss for the heck of it. But this is gonna suck. Wait, why did he die? He had armor. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Oh, well. So then you get to spend all your stars. I kind of mischaracterized what those stars were. So you could get more grid power for one. Can get smoke bomb, drop smoke on 5 tiles, so anybody within that range would miss their attack. A different weapon that shoots in both directions for the cannon. A different mortar for the artillery. Big ol' pushy slam, but also does damage to you for the cannon. And then one of those reactor cores that just gives you more upgrades to the things you already have. So, pretty fun game. Normally it doesn't go quite that long when you're not explaining so much of it. I think it went pretty well. I did a few stupid things, but that's okay. So from there it would be moving on to another island, trying to min-max the same kind of things as best you can with different enemies, stronger enemies, different mechanics for the different islands, and trying to get all the way to the final one with the big showdown, which I think I've only beaten like twice. It's pretty difficult. But I like it, and it's definitely a budget bestie. I think the flat price is like $15, but you can often get it on sale even for. I've seen it for like $3.75, I think. So definitely worth that. Fun little game that you can just even jump in for a few of those sub-missions for a few minutes, just whenever you get the time. And I like it. And remember, if your legs aren't moving, it's hard to be grooving.